Enter my world, watch your clothes. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can. Enter my world, watch your clothes. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. Turn on tuning, hear all I say. Watch real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above. And if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can. Enter my world, watch your clothes. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can. Enter my world, watch your clothes. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. 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 We paint miniatures.
Hey, it's Shoshie from Shoshie's Magnificent Minis, and we are live. And I want to say hello, Cosmo BC. It's been so long, I just haven't seen you in a while. Rizar BR is in the channel, Geeky Girl Games, and Lamuna's coming in with the sub. Look at this. Oh, Cosmo BC just subscribed as well. Let's take a look at this. We've got some subs in the beginning. Let's see. Cosmos BC. Thank you guys so much. We are really close to like mid-July is when my animator said that they would get with me and we would get our new emotes. And so I'm super excited because you guys get those emotes when you subscribe. But the cat hair and the heart, which currently are tier 2 and 3, will be probably moved over to tier 1, and then everybody who subscribes at tier 1 will get it. Plus we'll have a whole bunch of new emotes for my subs. Yes, and Gen Con is coming so fast. It's gonna be really here before we know it. 2EMP, yo! Slave 1D, heya! How are you guys? Let's see. It has been busy for sure. Yeah, look at all those emotes. So, what was I gonna say? We've got so much going on. I've got 2 minis to paint today because I'm almost done with this guy right here. It looks a little faded. He's a lot more colorful. I don't know if I can fix it or not. We'll work on it. Then I've got this guy. This is the Blessed. Oh my gosh, that's super faded. Let me go and see if I can mess with that because I've got this whole back half of his wings. Isn't he cool? Yes. All right, I'm gonna just adjust the color a smidge. I'll be right back. Okay, I think that's better. Oh no, look at how yellow my hands are. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry guys. Well, but the color on the mini looks a slightly more, it's because of my lighting. Maybe if that's better. That's much better. Just look at these yellow hands. All right, let me try to mess with this one more time. Hold on, I'll be right back again. Oh, you think it looks good? Okay. Oh my gosh. I want you to be able to see the color in the minis because look at this is the art and that's actually pretty dang close. Okay. You can handle a weird color in my hands. That is what really pretty close to what the mini looks like. Yeah, I do have jaundice. Okay, I'm gonna go switch it. All right, be right back. That's way better. They're still a little bit faded, but my hands don't look quite so crazy. My nails, thank you. Actually, look at this. This one broke off today. I went fishing today, and I caught a couple crappie. Can't remember how you say it, crappie. And I caught a bluegill, a little bitty, but I broke my nail. But yeah, I get these done every week or so, every 2 weeks. All right, let's get started. We're gonna get this guy painted up and finished because I wanna start working on the Blessed. And I have so many things to show you guys. So many things. Can you hear me okay? Yep, okay, good. All right, so here's my artwork. And we can see we've got a lot of this sword to finish here. And just a few of his little accessories. Got little moons, because that's the thing with this is they always have like little moons. Everything else is mostly done except for the white of these little studs. So we painted this guy this past week on Monday. And this has been given away now to Nixton Minis, who won her for my 3,000 subscribers. We had 3,000 subscribers. Hey, Artie Wolf, how is it going? So as a giveaway, we did a couple things. We gave away a few things for 3,000 members. I just love you guys so much. We're gonna do, as we're getting closer to the summer or summer ending, I'm gonna hopefully get back on a schedule where we're doing at least one giveaway a month because we've got all kinds of stuff planned, especially with the emotes coming. I want to make sure that we have some kind of incentive to, maybe unlock a few more emotes since I've got all of these being made. Did my music stop? No, okay, good. Yep, no, I wish I had 3,000 subscribers. Did I say subscribers? Hey, Cyber Nomad. Hey, Trillian, I'm so glad. Look, this is Trillion's mini. It's her commission. And I've got the underside of his wing started. I want to show, while Trillion's on, I'm going to show you what I've got planned for this mini because she's going to be so excited. So this is the lovely, beautiful plinth I have for her. And it is solid wood. And then I have this cool, see if I can show you guys. This is going to be his base. Can you see that? And so that will go on top of this plinth. Really cool. I'm going to airbrush prime this whole thing and repaint the gate so that it'll all go together. It'll all be the same golds. But he's basically going to be stepping out in front of his heavenly gate. Isn't that nice? Oh, you guys like that? Yay! Yeah. And I got this all tacked on here with some epoxy putty, so that is not going anywhere. And it feels pretty strong. So I'm excited about that. And I'll be, like I said, I'm going to airbrush all over that. So that'll be hidden. And I'm going to do this marbling all over the base here of the column and of the steps here. And I filled in this because it was another step, but I felt like he needed a full thing to be standing on. So yeah, he's exciting. So that is my plan for the Blessed. I want to show you guys something else that came up. Now look at this. This is in a huge plinth. It's just too big. I'm gonna have to have the guy cut it down. It's made of purple, what's it called? Purple heartwood, I think is what it is. And this is for my flower witch. Let me show you what I've got planned for her. So somewhere in here they are. Maybe you guys can help me decide. So she's about the same height, so that's why he decided to make this so tall. It's just way, oh gosh, she looks very jaundiced, doesn't she? That is not how she looks at all. Ooh, let me, you know what, she'd be a good one to adjust my colors on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna adjust my colors using Flower Witch because she's much brighter than all the others. All right, be right back. Funeral Witch, did I say Flower Witch? You're right, and the Lunas, thank you. All right, I'm gonna check. Better. So the deal is Mike is not here tonight. That is how it looks. That is how it looks. Okay, so this is what I've got. I've got this stack of backgrounds that this woodworker of mine made. Because if you look at her, she's got a very circular composition already. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice to have something behind her? And so we've got different ideas. We've got that. I'm not too thrilled with the cobweb. I don't think it quite fits her. We've got that. We've got, you guys can tell me which one you like. We've got this one. Ooh, I kind of like that. See how that looks? Detail there. That's how that one looks. You like that skin tone? Thank you, Yagdi Alone. Oh, by the way, Benji, the effing furry, what is wrong with the Blessed's neck is he's a Kingdom Death figure, and they are all have some aspect of horror. This one is meant to look like the moon, which I think is very fitting for the Funeral Witch. I actually kind of really like that, and I would repaint all of this and just paint the craters and everything in. But I really like that. What do you guys think? Yeah, I like the moon one. You like the Celtic knot? Okay. We've got a couple different Celtic knots. We've also got this one, which is the same. It's just, look at that. It's just the other, ooh, actually, hey, put that together. That's kind of interesting. It's just the negative space of that one. Let's see how that looks. Hold on, you haven't seen them all. Yeah, that one's kind of too much behind her, isn't it? That's like, there's not enough air behind her. Then there's this one, which has like little Celtic cats or something. It doesn't really seem to fit her, I don't think. It's a little too busy also. This one is kind of cool because it looks like a moon with silhouettes on it. And I don't hate it, especially because she fits right in there really well into the negative space already. Nothing too busy will take away from her. She's the focus. I agree, Zab. She is the focus. Like something like this, which is really cool by itself. Put that behind her and it's just too much, too much, too much. Okay, so let's go back and look at the moon. I think this one or the moon. They both look good. So atmospheric, yes, it is. I like this. Let's see. I like it with it just turned that way, so you can. This feels like it belongs with her. Yeah, the moon. Everybody's saying moon. Okay, I love you guys. You help me. This is good. It's so nice. Yeah, that guy's from, that Blessed is from Kingdom Death. And this is from, oh my goodness, what? I can't remember. Awaken Realms. Awaken Realms did Funeral Witch. She's pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna set her aside. All right, and this is this is her giant plinth, which needs to be half of that, I think. And then I can use this half for something else, right? Isn't that beautiful purple wood? And it's not varnished yet, but it'll get varnished and it'll get a little plug right here. And that's not a commission. That one's 100% for me. So that's nice. Let's see how, oh yes. That is how he's supposed to look. My hands aren't jaundiced. Yay. We got it. The moon fits the paint scheme you were picturing originally. I agree. Yes. I don't think you need that funeral witch. I'll take her for you. No. I need her. Good. Ether Fields by Awaken Realms. Thank you. Thank you, Anne Luminous. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do this guy back here, this sword. And there's yellows and there's reds. So I'm going to start with the reds because if we're looking at these reds, it's a really dark red. And it's going to be nice and contrasty to all that blue. So it's going to really contrast, 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 right? That's what we always want. You need to paint up yours? Yes. Thank you. The wolf, I think, so I've painted confrontation minis before, but it's been a long time. And I have to say, I think I've gotten better since the last time I painted one. So I'm excited. Here is deep red. I don't think this is, we're going to use this as our base, this deep red. Nope, too much of, there we go. When I first put paint on the palette, it turns into just medium. Right. Put this right there. See how that is because it's got medium, mostly medium. There we go. Pigment. I'm excited to paint the Blessed. We're going to paint the Blessed as soon as we finish this, guys, because I really didn't see myself as being able to get this wolf to stretch out over the entire stream. He's really almost done. So we're just going to finish him up because I told you guys I would. There's a lot of people who asked me to finish him. And we'll get him done, and then we'll work on the Blessed, which Trillion's going to be really excited to see. I told her, I said, I don't know if I can paint him on stream or not, because sometimes I actually end up having to do more work when I paint on stream for commission, because I have to go back and fix things. But it's not always the case. And now that I have a solid idea of how to do the wings, I think I can manage it, and we can get a cool demo of the Blessed, which is a extremely rare mini. Extremely rare. Jillian says my scale 70 paints should ship out this week. Awesome. Yeah, and just, you know, if you don't see them ship out this week, just pop them an email and they will get back to you. They're pretty good about communication. I like this. So this mini is very cartoony, which is nice because it'll show up really well on camera and on stream. It's a little different from my normal style. Obviously, I'm copying the box art, but it's good practice to copy other artists because you learn stuff when you break down their techniques. Like how did I do this? You know, like how would I layer this so that it would look the right amount of contrast? All right, that is good. Does he have any other red on him? Don't think so. There's a little bit of red down here in his cloth. Actually, that looks pretty good. Pop that out. I originally had it as a magenta, and I think it looks better with the red, actually. So I'm getting ready for Nova, and I'm going to be buying my plane ticket this week. And I'm getting ready for Gen Con. Who else is going? Anybody? Geeky Girl Games says, I ordered the Critical Role miniatures from Kickstarter, and I want to practice for the next year until they come. What would be good practice miniatures? What size are the Critical Role miniatures? Because that makes... I mean, I think Reaper miniatures make great practice. They don't make a ton of their metals anymore. They make those Bones minis, but the Bones minis, one, are good for practicing. You don't need to prime them. You can paint right on them. But also, their metal minis are excellent for practicing on. Anytime you can find, you know, a whole batch of... here, hold on, let me show you something. So I happen to have some minis like this. This is an old, you can often find these in clearance bins in game stores. Here's some Bones minis. These are great to practice on. Like I said, you don't need, it's like a little archer thief guy. Let's see. This is a Hazelet Plague Priest. But yeah, sometimes you can find really good deals. Like there's a whole bunch of Bloodstone gnomes. Spellcrow, one of my sponsors, their miniatures are really, really reasonably priced, and you can get a pack of a bunch of elves and stuff for a pretty good price. Plus their brushes are amazing as well, and of course they're my sponsor, so I'm always gonna hype them. But yeah. Took you 4 years to track down the Blessed? Oh my goodness. It's amazing. Well, I'm glad you did, because I am excited to paint him. And I definitely didn't think I would ever be painting him because of his rarity. All right, what am I looking for? I'm looking for peanut butter, which is this, oh, that's Kokum Copper. We'll use that. And I need yellow as well for his sword. What color yellow? The yellow in this, see how it gets real orange over here, but it's really pastel yellow over here. I think I'm gonna use, that's not the right color. Here we go. Near yellow, that's right. Trillian says, me, 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 me. Wait, why did you say me, me, me? Oh, you're going to Gen Con? Or Nova. That's so awesome. Tim Fizz says, I'm going. You didn't manage to get in the classes. Tim Fizz, show up to the classes, bring cash, and if I have space, which is very possible, sometimes people go to, sign up for stuff and then they don't end up coming. So if I have space and if I have enough miniatures, I will let you into the class. Most conventions are like that. A lot of artists bring extra for that exact reason. I know that's pretty much the case at Adepticon. This is the pastel yellow. One of the things about confrontation minis is they are so pastel. They use lots of glazes. They paint with mostly on a white surface, which I didn't do, but it works anyway. Okay, you think the CR are 28mm, then Reaper should be perfect for you because they are all about 28mm and they're I like them because they're metal. I feel like metal are good to start out on. Now the Bones minis are also good to start out on. All right, I think I'm gonna mix a little bit of this with the yellow, with that orangey color flavor. That's the flavor. This is gonna be for Nixon Minis. He's so excited. He won this in our raffle. And then I'm gonna flip this over and get the brighter yellow on this side. Might have to do more than one coat on this. Actually, I will have to do more than one coat on this. Darksword minis are really nice metal miniatures. Yeah, Darksword also. I just, I think for your price though, you're gonna find a lot less expensive minis with Reaper. Darksword, I think, are also much finer detail. They tend to be true 28mm, whereas Reaper are sort of like, they're fudged a little bit. So they're a little bit more cartoony, and so it's a little easier to paint their faces. So if you're a beginner, that's why I like Reaper a little better than Darksword. Definitely you can once you get, those Reaper down where you feel like you're pretty good with them, then you can definitely, I would move to Darksword if you like that look. The animals that they have are pretty cool too. Those are actually a little bigger and maybe a little easier to paint. They've got a ton of anthropomorphic figures that are really cool looking. Yay, counting down Nova. Geeky says, I'm such an awful painter. I'm scared to paint them, so you need lots of practice. Then I really recommend the Bones. Like you could probably find some on eBay. People are always selling them. They're really affordable, really affordable. I think, and that's actually what I got my start on. Ooh, look at how pretty that looks. Let's blend that a little bit with a mid-tone right here. Go. And this part is very yellow, right? Give that another coat. And on this side. Steamforge announced there would be more coming. Awesome. So, okay, so let's talk about Nova. I'd never been to Nova. If anybody in here been there, because I'm curious, like, Do they do new releases at Nova, or is that mostly a Gen Con thing, or, you know, Adepticon thing? I don't know. I know Nova is big, but I don't know. I don't have that much background info on it. This is the, there we go, there's my orange. See that beautiful blend. Do more yellow on the back here. Pretty. Okay. I'm looking around, making sure everything is coated. Now this is the hilt. That's also an orangish yellow. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my yellow first. I feel like if you start with a lighter base, it's easier to color darker. 28R role-playing scale. And so that's another reason why I like Reaper, is because they specialize in the role-playing game minis, which, you know, if you're a role-playing gamer, perfect. So now you have your D&D character, or your friend's D&D character painted. Everybody's happy. A little bit of the. So this is the non-metallic metal part where I'm shading on the sides here, but I'm leaving that metal part bright. Oh, Trillian, whoa, thank you so much for the cheer. Give Trillian some hype, guys. Let's see if we can do that. Hype, hype, hype. Aw, and she activated the football giveaway too for 16 other people. I'm not sure what the 16 is, but that's pretty cool. Yay, hype. Can't spell today. Let's see, RRILLIAN. Does that work? Yay. Woohoo. This is the most fun you have all week. Aw, that's so sweet. I really enjoy you guys. This is fun. I want to get some ideas from you guys on things we can do to grow the channel. I love everybody in it, and I think we have an amazing community. But I've been watching other streamers out there, and I know there are other streamers with much bigger community. I've been going to different creative streamers and just seeing, you know, what are the other painters doing? What are they doing? And also, like, how did you find me? Because that also helps me know, you know, where to advertise, where to tell people about. A lot of people found me from YouTube. You know that. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of the orange over here on the side as well. Starting to pop. Insert popcorn, popcorn, Michael. Hey, Deacon in the North, how's it going? Awesome. All right, this whole side gets to be pastel. Insert popcorn, Michael is a GIF, isn't it? Funny. YouTube and Instagram, King Death Painting, and on Facebook. My Flower Witch YouTube video. Yeah, that Flower Witch video, it has like 12,000 views on it or something. I'm not really sure, like, was it because it said skin tones? I think somebody told me that it was the first long form skin tones video that they've ever seen. And I'm glad. It was very helpful to a lot of people. Well, I continue to upload to YouTube because a lot of times, especially in like Australia and the, you know, different parts of the West Coast, have trouble watching me because of my time zones. Yeah, skin tones. Everybody loves them. Still crack me up. Silver Nail, I think it was her name. He was like, "Hey, can you explain your skin tones just real quick?" And I was like, It's kind of hard to explain in just a few minutes. Okay, so that's going to be silver, so I need to leave that alone. The rest of this. I do have some really cool news and announcements, and that are going to make a big difference and help the channel out a lot, as well as help out the entire miniature community. That's my hope anyway. I'll let you guys know when we're ready to tell everybody. There we go. Need a couple coats with this yellow. A little transparent. Came across me randomly on a Miniature Addicts page. Deacon, that was a long time ago. I don't even know if that Miniature Addicts page still exists, does it? That was a long time ago. All right, so this is the orange, and I'm gonna put it in the spots where the sword dips a little bit. Actually, I'm just gonna put it over the whole thing because I feel like the rest of it's too transparent and I need something covering. There we go. See, slowly but surely his stuff's getting done. Red. So this needs to be a brighter red, so I'm gonna try Aldebaran red. Yay, hype. Love the way I sketch with the paint. You paint that way too. No, you're not doing anything wrong. And I wanna really hammer that home, is that there is so this is something I actually learned from another Twitch streamer. He said that a lot of times artists can fall into a trap where they believe that the only right way to do art is the way that they like. And that is where the miniature community sat in a rut for a very long time. I have been told in the past that the way I paint is wrong. I've actually been told that. And I just couldn't believe it, because for me, I would see how beautiful that red is. For me, this is art. There's no wrong way to do art if it comes out how you want it, right? There's definitely different levels of quality, but for the most part, it is my humble belief that there are individuals in the community who want to keep the status quo, because they are at the top of the pyramid, right? And so there can't be any other styles, because their style is what is popular. And that's with a style that tends to win competitions and stuff. But I think it's time to change that. This is not a popular opinion, by the way, so I might get in trouble for saying this. It is my opinion. That happens in a lot of art forms. I mean, look at the Impressionists. When they started doing what they were doing, they were counterculture, they were iconoclasts. Oh, how pretty is that? Look at that beautiful blend. Right, how can people do art wrong? Exactly. But that's something that we have to learn, something that people take for granted, that we can do art differently. Yeah, why don't you paint in the Games Workshop style? That is a style. It is not the only style. It's a good style. It's not the only good style, right? So we have to kind of tell ourselves that, you know, the way you paint. Look at, okay, Jessica think her name is Jessica Bathory. I don't think she has a page yet. I'm going to pressure her to make a page. But she is doing this kind of like cell, what do you call it? Like cell, when it looks like a drawing on a mini. It looks fantastic. And it's so unique and so, it's just, I mean, I've seen it on Gundam, but I've never seen it on minis. Where should I put this? So here's the light, and then you can tell, like, I'm looking at the drawing and it doesn't really make sense where the light is. We're gonna put it here. There's all these planes. I'm losing my train of thought. Judges aren't always able to judge art. That is 100% true. That's why a lot of competitions really just boil down to, does the judge like it? And that's another reason why mini painting contests are really so technical, is because they don't know how to judge art. They can only judge the technical aspect. Being a real true judge of art is very difficult and ultimately awesome. You know, it really boils down to the judge's opinions most of the time. What art do they like? What art speaks to them? That's what's gonna, I mean, even in the fine art world, it's like that. Love that red. Hi. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit more blend over here. All right. Color, his fingernails are white. Okay. So my sketching methodology, I kind of sketch, but I also, so I wouldn't call what I do sketching per se. I paint on a mini in my normal style. Let me see if I have anything with my normal style. This is my normal style right here. I paint on a mini like it's a canvas. So you see brush marks. I was told that I need to go in and smooth that up. But you know, I like it. I like it because it adds movement to the cape that already, it adds texture to the cape. Now, what I could do, instead of smoothing it, what I probably should do, is go in with a tiny brush and make tiny little textures, micro textures, like Ben Kolmetz and Matt Sexwish teach, of little fabric lines. That would be cool. Because I really don't, like Alfonso Giraldes, Banshee Alfonso. He says the F smoothness, right? He also says, you know, yeah, he says F smoothness. And that's because he's trying to teach you that you can just paint like this is a canvas, and that's what I do. So I paint like I'm painting on a canvas, but it's on a mini. Now in this, of course, this is very smooth, but that's the style we're doing. That's the style of the Rackham. And it, honestly, like the GW style looks great on GW models. And I've tried painting GW models with my normal style. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, I lose my train of thought a lot. Cell shaded, that's it. You weren't a fan of cell shaded art, but you grew on you and you like it. You might like anime games, but you got to see Jessica's stuff. I don't know for sure if I'd call it cell shaded, but it's really amazing what she's able to do. Okay, I'm going to take some Nightshade Purple, which is a very dark purple. As I say, the purple of all blacks. And of course it's not coming out of here because it's got it all plugged up. Here we go. I got this little awl. It's so perfect for unplugging bottles. Boop. Art judges make you think of wine tasters. They're fake. I don't know. I don't know much about wine tasting is a thing. I think people can taste all the differences in wine, but yeah. All right, so there's a little bitty, hold on, I'm gonna take glasses off. Little bitty round piece right here. And the reason why I'm covering that with black to start is I'm gonna end up highlighting that. And I'm gonna look over here and feel my full edge work here. Or underlining, we call it underlining. Underlining? Black lining. Black lining. Do. This black lining is what gives it that kind of cartoony. That's the thing. Europeans are very influenced by fine artists. And I would say, and this is a generalization, that Americans are very influenced by the comic book artists. And that's a big reason why a lot of American painters paint in that Reaper kind of super smooth style. Again, not bad. It's just not the only way. And I think we're seeing a shift. Matt DiPietro is doing kind of his sketch style, which is really grisaille. It's an old master's technique from the Renaissance period where, you know, it was literally kind of a sketched style. Let's see, over here. Okay, that's really dark. I'm not sure I like that, but I'm gonna leave it for now. Yeah, actually it works. All right. You guys see that okay? It's painting in my, there's all these bits back here that I can barely see. I'm sure you can't see it. If I can't see it, you can't see it. All right. Glasses back on. For someone who knows blending, then I think F smoothness makes sense, but maybe used by people. I agree. I think some people use the F smoothness a little bit as a crutch, and then they don't really learn some of the basics. And I think you're right about how you kind of need to learn the blending, and then you can, so this is what I was taught in art class. Learn all the rules, then break the rules. Learn all the rules so that you can break all the rules. That's what Banshee's doing. That's what Matt DiPietro is doing. But they have already paid the dues. They've already learned how to do all the smooth stuff. And now they're trying to show people that, you know, there's more than one way. For sure. For sure. So here we're going to highlight right here. We've already got that beautiful dark in there, so that's the light. And this whole part is also pretty light. Hey, Protomaker. I didn't realize you were still at work. Welcome. For some reason I thought you were off at your conference thingy. Yeah. There was some studies done about wine tasting. Some guy named Frederick published his findings on a 2001 expert. You know what's funny about wine tasting is that they've tried putting like cheap wines in a fancy bottle and vice versa, and had people try taste them and see. And it's funny because it's the taste of the cheap wines gets changed quite a bit. Like they like it a lot more when it's in a cheap bottle or a fancy bottle. Okay, this is all light. Facilitating a leadership workshop all day. That's right. Did I put any oil on my funeral witch plinth? No, I haven't touched it because I'm gonna have him cut it down and then he's gonna varnish it for me. So that's what I think is gonna happen with the funeral, because I wanted to take it home and take a look at it, but like I said, I wasn't sure if the size was gonna. I thought it might work, but then I didn't know. I wanted to make sure I could try it first. And it turned out it was like way too big. Okay, put this yellow. There we go. Blending, blending, blending. So, put that upside down so you can see that a little better. Oops, messed that up. When you mess up, just fix it. Okay, I need a little bit of white because this yellow is not bright enough. Because pastels have a lot of white in them, so they are already desaturated. Sometimes you need to bring stuff back. This is why alchemy. Evil Imp, thank you so much for the follow. You are our first follower for the night. Awesome, thank you. New followers. Woo! Evil Imp. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. All right. We're painting Confrontation Mini from Rackham. It is Onyx the Prowler. We're pretty close to being done with him. So remember that little dot we did over here? I'm going to use my schmanky white, which is a white, titanium white. Right here, I think I got it from Germany, but it is a German brand. I think it's either German or Austrian. And it's really, 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 really white. They've tested it with some other whites, and it turns out it's because it's an artist's heavy body acrylic. It's pretty white. All right, where are we going to put this? We're going to put this on that little dot. And I'm going to add just a little bit of blue to it. So this is Adriatic blue. It's nice turquoise. And when we add some white to it, it will be a nice, bright, sea foamy color. Okay, here it is. Have I ever messed up a miniature so bad that I stripped it and started again? No, I haven't. I talked about this before. I don't really strip miniatures. I've not ever stripped a mini. What I do is when I mess up a mini, I just keep working on it. And this comes from when I used to be a watercolorist. I used to use Arches Arches 300 and 400 pound watercolor paper. This is just plain white on top of that blue. There we go, a little bit of a highlight right there. See how now, because we did the black first, it actually shows up. Because if we did it white first, you know, it looks, if you did white first, you wouldn't be able to see it. So we had to do the dark color first. And we're going to do the same thing for everything else here that's supposed to be white. But yeah, so I just haven't stripped models. Okay, so I had this 300 or 400 pound paper, and I was, you know, professional watercolorist. And when you're making stuff, you know, it's all about the bottom line. You don't waste paper. You can't afford to, because a full sheet of Arches watercolor paper is about $15. And if you cut that into fourths, which is what I did, you know, it was still pretty expensive per quarter. So I would just keep working on a watercolor, because my theory is once you mess up something so bad, you can't mess it up worse, right? You can't mess up something that's really bad worse. So you might as well just chalk it up to experience and keep working on it. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you're just painting through that ugly stage, because every mini has an ugly stage. Every watercolor has an ugly stage. Maybe you just paint through that and you get to the other side and you've got an amazing mini by the time you finish, because you took the patience to go through and paint the rest. All right, I tried dark blinding this. It didn't come out super well. I'm gonna go ahead and do this coin right here. I guess it's a coin. Master Fungi Z. Bob Rossett, yes, ugly is normal at some point in the process. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is very, very, very true. So what that means is, and also when you fight through the minds, because like when you quote unquote mess something up, you're the only one that's thinking that in that moment. What if you're wrong? You don't have anybody around you to ask you, what do you think? But your perception of that model might be completely wrong. And if you've gone ahead and stripped it, you've wasted all that time, and then you can end up doing it again. Maybe you'll make the same mistake again, but maybe it wasn't a mistake in the first place. Deep thoughts. These are all these little doodads and buttons all over. I'm going to use this. The reason why I'm using Nightshade Purple is because it's not black. It's dark purple. When you start using black on a mini, you can flatten things out quite a bit, because black is a very flattening color. Purple, however, is got a lot of depth to it. Okay, so do you see how I did that? I'm going to go ahead and dark line underneath his claws. I want to separate my edges, because there we go. I do have to go back over his whole hand at some point. Let's get this little doodad over here as well, right here. And this piece. The only time I would really strip a mini is if somebody else painted a mini or started a mini and you inherited it, or they gave it to you to paint, and it just doesn't fit your vision of what direction it's going in. That is when I would probably go ahead and strip if it's somebody else's to start with. But if it's yours, maybe if you've had something lying around for ages and ages and never finished it. That's another thing that Jessica's doing that's just blowing my mind. She's got all these minis that have been on her painting shelf for years, months, and she's taking the time and finishing them. These are little chains. And it's already painted somewhat black, so they look really outlined. All right. Little tiny details. This is where I have to hold my breath. This is where painting daily that improves your brush control, helps you get those little dots. Okay, flip this way. I think I got red on it. So I'm gonna go back here and fix that. Pop, pop, pop. White pops. Okay, check the stream. So, that's the part where you can stop and you can be like, where can I go with this? And actually be freeing. Yes, if you can take new directions. Exactly, Elmo Sab. The smaller minis give you your games would try and fix what you were working, but then you lost all the detail. Okay, yes, so that's why we try to paint thin. That's why a wet palette can help a lot. Look at how thin the paint gets, especially this is the, look at how thin that is. That's a glaze right there. This is the fantasy in games. Fantasy games are already pretty thin. So when it pulls up some water, this is the other kind. And it's not as thin because that's the opaque scale 75. All right, do a little line of black around this one. I have to have glasses off for some of this because this is some fine detail work here. Boom. Put this piece down here. Gonna let that dry completely. Otherwise, yeah, that looks really good with the outline. I think I'm gonna try to outline that whole thing. Oh, try is the operative word. Just try. More white up here. Look at this. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of a edge line right here. I wanna hurry up with him, and we're gonna get to that beloved or blessed. I wanna paint a little bit on him because he's so unique. I wanna show him off on stream. So let's see what time it is right now. It's 7, it's almost 8. So we'll do a few more minutes on this guy, and then we're gonna switch, even though I'm not done with him, to the blessed, so you can see all those little sharp. Makes the towns look sharp, doesn't it? Those little edges. Okay, what's left? I'm going to use a little bit of that blue again, that little bit of blue. Because remember, it's got that black outline, so that makes it pop a lot. Glasses off. So it is Wednesday, Friday. Let's talk about what we're going to paint on Friday. I have, let's see, what do I have? I have a flower night to paint. Maybe we'll paint the flower night and see how far we can get. And I have a giveaway that I'm going to be doing on Twitter, because we just reached 1,500 followers on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, I would love you if you could follow me, because I don't have too many followers on Twitter. I'm not very good at Twitter, honestly. I just do my normal, like, posting pictures and stuff, but I don't know how to talk on Twitter like I do on the other platforms. I'm looking for a bluish gray that I had yesterday so I can finish his knuckles. Oop. It's up here somewhere. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. Nope. We'll use this one. I know it's around here. Okay. I keep moving off cam. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think you follow me on Twitter. You're not as old as you. You're not on it much. I'm not on. I mean, I'm on it, but I'm and I check it. But I like I said, I don't have many I don't have any friends on it, so that's why I don't talk much on it. Because all the people who follow me, I don't know very well. Here it is, this gray, right here. Okay, so just on the knuckles, I believe. See where I had some metal showing through because it's got scratched. All right, that's good. I heard giveaway and Twitter in Luminous. We just hit 1,500 people, which is probably my smallest social media, but it's still a big deal, right? We still need to reward those people who follow. So it's only going to be for Twitter followers, but we're going to do a giveaway on Twitter very soon. And I think I'm going to give away a flower night from Kingdom Death, because I think that's what we're going to paint on. I think that's what we'll paint. So yeah, we'll do that on Friday. And have something new. I don't think I've done a flower night on Twitch yet, have I? Maybe once. But they're super fun. All right, a little bit of white and a little bit of yellow. Just a little bit of yellow for his nails. All right, I'm gonna hold this here so you guys can see it. I'm gonna get these nails done. Ugh. There we go. Paint it, paint it. So also, another milestone that we're gonna hit fairly soon is I'm getting pretty, I mean, I'm like about 1,000 away still, but I've got almost 15,000 followers on Facebook, which is a lot. And I think that deserves a mega giveaway for that many. That's just insane. So I will probably be contacting sponsors for that one and seeing what they want to do and doing a big giant party on Facebook. And then we just also, I think I hit 4,000 on, no, it was more like 8,000 on Instagram. That's a lot too. So I might wait until we get a full 10,000 on Instagram, which is not too hard. Yeah, we've got 8,100 on Instagram. But I love doing these giveaways for followers because so many people are such good, I mean, they're just such good community, right? They deserve stuff. Everybody deserves free stuff. It's kind of the perks. What's also nice about these giveaways, especially Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Because like I said, only my Twitter followers are going to be able to win this. Out of that 1,500 people who are following me on Twitter, not all of them are miniature people. And they probably won't even be paying attention necessarily. And so the odds of winning that one are really high. What will I give away on Twitter? Maybe a board game. Maybe that would be more universal. I've got a game. I've got the Guild Ball Kickoff game. And so maybe I'll give that away on Twitter for my 1,500. That would be pretty sweet. I'm just adding a little glaze of white on this because I feel like it needs it. Nixon Minnie's gonna love this. I just tweeted you from my Gaming Club's account. I just followed you with that account. Okay, good. The Gaming Club's gonna say that they're gonna win, right? Okay, so I don't think you've done a flower night. Okay. I know I've painted one, but yeah, maybe it's not been on Twitch yet. I don't think I've done one on Twitch. That little bit of yellow. It's starting, look at this, guys. It's really starting to look. Ha ha. See if I can get him in the right. Bam. Bam. We need white and blue here. Guild Ball, it's like, I guess I don't know if it's a board game, but it comes in a board game box. It's called Guild Ball Kickoff. Google that. And it looks really fun. I got that at Adepticon in the swag bag. And I'm not gonna be using it because I don't have enough time. There we go. I can hear my cat upstairs. He's clawing up at the door. He wants in. No, cat. I'm very carefully going around these little rivets because I don't want to mess up. I kind of messed up already. That's okay. When you mess up, let it dry and then go back and fix it. Do the little white lines on here. This bit needs to be a little bit more on the yellow end here. That looks good. Now let me check my reference. Yay, you already follow me on Twitter, Geeky. Awesome. Facebook Live party? Oh, yeah. Well, when we do we'll absolutely do a Facebook Live party when that time comes. Absolutely. Facebook was my first major platform. And then I moved. What did I do first? I think I had Instagram, but I didn't do Instagram regularly. My first foray with Instagram, I only would post pictures of my cats. I didn't do any minis on my Instagram at all. And it was funny because I would only follow people that had cats. I would, so then when I switched to minis, I told all my current followers, who were all people with cats, of course, because they too only followed others with cats. I said, minis is my life now. From now on, I will only be pictures of minis. And then later on I lied. Sometimes there will be cats. I messed up this is like a little stud back here of like a spike. Not all the sides can be white, so I'm gonna have to change that a little bit. Better. Make sure I get them all anyway. These little bitty ticky details. All his little moons. This one's gonna have a yellow background. There we go. All right, what's next? Glasses! Yay! Okay, I'm missing messages. You don't know if you deserve stuff for free, but you like supporting creators. Good. Oh, is it time to stretch? It's probably time to switch to Blessed. So we've got him almost done. I mean, it's really close. There's just little details I'm gonna put on him, and I gotta finish that band around his arm and this wrist thing. But for the most part, look at that. Oh, he's pretty close. Nice. All right, time for Blessed. Let's stretch. Let's everybody get up. You know you've been sitting there too long. So let's do a little stretch. Oh, my back. Now stretch out your arms. I think I got pain on my elbow, this elbow. Right here. All right, I'm gonna grab Blessed, the Blessed. Bless his heart. Okay. Ooh, I just popped my back. Oh, that feels good. All right, I got water on my glasses. How funny. How Minnie's riding the cats. That's great. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I did these wings. Let's get a close-up. I don't know if you can see this. Brilliant if you're still here. There is iridescent paint on these wings. It's really hard to see. Can you see the iridescent at all? And I also did iridescent. There, you can see that much better. Did iridescent down in here as well. And this is all pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. And the Moon says, I know I've been sitting too long because it's drive home time. Night, night. Okay, good night. Artie Wolf says, I'm gonna bring stretch glasses off and hydrate signs to the Nova. Awesome. Ah, that'll be great. Hydrate, I do need to hydrate. I'm just gonna take a second. I got a little bit of ticky-tack in between his toes. Got it out there. Good, good. All right, let's look at him. He's got a tiny little cherub face. pretty much no neck, even though he's got these big neck muscles, which is kind of weird. Gotta say that. He's such a cool sculpt. He's got a big outstretched wing and then one kind of coming in protectively. And I'm so happy with how that turned out right there. That is exactly how I want it. I mean, if you look, it looks like it's just perfectly shadowed, and then it's iridescent right here. I just used a little metallics and I mixed it with my regular paint. It's not the Chosen Drax, it's the Blessed. It's the mini that came before the Chosen. I think it was one of the, you know, what do you call it? Might have been like the beta or the alpha of the Chosen, because they came out with the Chosen slightly after. Yeah. All right, let's do the back, because I'm going to show you. I've got it already primed, and I've got some speckles, which those are going to hopefully go away when I get white on here. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. I use a lot of watercolor techniques to paint this part. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my shadows. I'm going to paint my shadows in first. And I've got, what color was it? Deep blue, a very vivid dark turquoise. And it'll go into the areas where I've already got black primer going, right? And I'm covering all the little parts that are already covered by black primer. And for now, I'm just going to cover the darkest spots because I really want to preserve my whites. This is the reason why this is watercolor technique-esque, is that first I'm going to preserve my whites and only paint from dark to light. And then later I'll go in with my whites and I'll come out. Oh, see that? Got a mess up right there. When I mess up, I'll go in and I'll paint that whole feather so that it look like when I lose it, I'll just make it look like I did it on purpose, and then I'll come back with my whites to clean that up. All right, now using water, I'm gonna be defining the edges of the feathers and the shadows of the feathers so that I think about what's this behind, what is this in front of, and I'm claiming my volumes. Where are the volumes? This feather is behind that feather, so it's gonna get a shadow right here. That whole section. See that? Yeah, it was a failed sculpt that Poots gave away in a bits bag. Ah, yeah, that's why I think he was originally supposed to be the Chosen. Hello, Badger! How are you? It's been a long time. Let's write your name down. Thank you so much for the subscribe. 10 months in a row. Thank you. We are in the process right now. I currently have 120 out of 200 sub points. Once we start getting all those emotes, I'm going to probably do a sub drive just so we can unlock those other emotes, because we've got 12 coming. We're gonna have 12 emotes altogether when I get those started to be made. But there's I think there's, I can't remember how many total. There's a lot more than 12 available to partners. Okay, do you see how I'm doing each? And then over here we've got a little bit right here, but then it's lighter. See how I glaze that so that I keep that shadow? I'm gonna do the same thing over here. There. I'm looking to see where did the airbrush hit. If I got a speckle, I'm going to paint over it so that I don't have that speckle anymore. See that? Now, on this side, we've got all kinds of colors going on. I'm going to go back in here. This is where I get creative. Jack says the entire project is basically scope creep ran unchecked. Scope of the original Kickstarter was way tinier than the final product. You are absolutely 100% right, Drax. That's hilarious. Yes, with beauty mixed in, exactly. So funny. Scope creep. Okay. So those of you guys who don't know, I guess my husband taught me the word scope creep. And what it is when you've got a project, and I got too much white in there. It's muddying. There we go. But somebody keeps adding to it and adding to it and adding to it, and that's what scope creep can be. Absolutely. All right, so this is plain white. I don't want it to be plain white. I'm going to mix a little bit of the pastel yellow with it. Just a little bit, because that yellow is going to look really nice against that blue. Hold on. And this time I'm painting the yellow on top of the spots that have the white primer on it. Hard to see. It's hard to paint pastels. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my red and add a little bit of white to that so I get a very pale pink, and I'm going to just very, oh, you can't see that, can you? Just going to paint that where the white was. Because if you think about it, white is not white. White is the reflection of other colors in light. And this is an angel wing. And so we want things to appear magical and light and airy. Pink up here. Thin it out so that it'll actually be more of a glaze. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with more or less, adding more or less white when I can. A little bit more yellows. On the ends of the wings, we're going to put a little yellow. You keep seeing Rocky. So Trillian told me that she saw Rocky from Rocky Horror Picture Show when she first was looking at the sculpt, and I see it too. It'll be there. It's just going to be blended in with my vision of what the Blessed is about. Lots of texture on these, which actually makes it much easier to paint. Okay, now I'm going over that with the white. This is only going to be on the highlights of the wing because I want the colors to be in there. I just don't want them to be dominant. And I'll go back and forth with color over white until I can get it right. This is the schminky white. So you can see this is the part where that would be the most highlighted because it's the part that's sticking out the most. And I'm going to get my edges as well. Now that looks like a white feather, even though it's got lots of colors in it. That's my goal, is to make these colored feathers read as white. And that's black is the same way. You can paint something with lots of colors on it and have it still read as black. Does that make sense? See? It's washed out on cam, but am I using the glaze thinness? No, because it's got white in it, I'm using it like pastel. So like, this is the consistency of the yellow. And then when I've got the pink, this is the consistency. The pink is, hold on. This is the consistency of the pink. So they're not glazes, they are opaque, but I can glaze back and forth if I need to, you know, adjust. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Now I did glaze my shadows. So you can see I used the black primer here, and I just glazed over the shadowed areas with the turquoise. Okay. Sorry if you guys are wearing microphones or headphones. Don't mean to cough in your ear. So that's the pink. Now over here, I'm going to keep it pink. I'm going to use a little bit more yellow. Hit those edges. I'm doing over brushing. So I'm leaving, so there is that black there. I want that there. With yellow, I'm gonna just vary it. Now I want to show you a trick. There are some spots like this, you can't see it real well, right here and here, and I'm going to show you a trick. This is fluorescent orange. You can see it with white, not so much with black though. Okay, this is the fluorescent orange. Not showing up too fluorescent on cam. I only need a tiny amount of this. Watch what happens when I mix. Where's my fluorescent? That, you can't even see it on camera, but it's bright. Can't see it. Oop, let's add some white. Oh, I'm gonna have to squatch it for you guys because it's not showing up. Let's see if this works. It's reading as white on cam, but it's actually fluorescent. You can't see, but it makes the white have a, I don't know, a higher density of pigment. Does that make sense? So when I put it on, it's probably gonna pop on camera when I put this on here. Yeah, a little bit. It seems like it's even brighter white, but it's got just a smidgen of that fluorescent in there. And I'm just gonna put this in spots and very, you know, put a little white in here too. Okay. I lost some of my shadows right here. You can see that. So I don't know if it's dry enough, but I can go back in here. Pick out my shadows again. A little bit. Go ahead. Glaze a little bit of blue. The blue is where I'm doing more glaze. I'm not glazing as much with the other one. Let's look at this front here. The shadows are stronger on this than they are. It's gonna look a lot more like this. Okay, now I want more white on my edges. I got a little bit of blue in here that's gonna hint that. And again, like I said, I just work it until I get the right tonality. A little bit of yellow. I just imagine shimmering feathers, and I just kind of, I'm totally making it up as I go. I don't have like a real rhyme or reason, but the reason why it has sort of this rainbow effect is because of how I'm just applying here. Oop, not that one. Now I'm going to go back and put white on top of that one because I don't like that one. Better. More colors. I need more colors. Every now and then I'll stop and squint at it and try to figure out what I'm doing next. That's the thing about, I originally told Trillian that I wasn't sure if I could paint him on Twitch. I still am not sure I can paint him on Twitch because he's such an organic piece. Like I kind of need to just get into a zone with him, you know what I mean? Okay. You're gonna have to forgive me if I get a little bit more quiet, because sometimes that's what the art needs. So what's nice is that if I feel like I've lost something or it needs something, I can go in here with white. I can always brighten it up and then blaze it back, right? Yes, there we go. Pretty. Yeah, I'm still on Painting Cricks, only about a half an hour more though. This is what we finished while you were away. Well, we finished mostly. Look at that. Boom. Hey. Does this mean I'll be painting him off stream tonight as I won't want to stop? Yes, it is a commission. And usually when I'm in a zone, when it's a commission, I like to stay in the zone because it means that I'm getting it done. And that's always a better thing. I do, you know, take time to work on stuff for myself, but when it comes to commissions, like I feel like I do, I don't know, sometimes I feel like my best work is for commissions and not for myself anyway. I do a lot of, it's a different headspace. Yes, I am a night owl. That's why I'm often befriending Australians, is because I'm a night owl. So now I'm trying to think, look at, there's so much, it goes like pink, blue, and I don't like that. So I'm going to lighten that. So you can always desaturate stuff. It's better. I like that much better. I wanted it to feel light. This right here, this wing feels heavy, and I love this wing. This wing, I want light. It's like almost like a light and darkness. I want them to kind of complement each other, but mirror each other in a way, like in a... All right, now I'm gonna go in with the darks again. See, when I start putting those darks in there, how that pops? Nice. Yes, yes, yes. I feel like it unifies it too. That makes sense. Up. It feels like a drawing. Brilliant says, you're usually up all night too. I like to paint at night when the house is quiet. Exactly, that's why I do. I can get into my zone so much better when there's nobody awake. There's no, like, I watch a little TV. I just get into my zone. Yeah. I feel like I need some purple, so let's try. I think I have a purple in here. Where is it? This one. Eldandle Violet. What we'll do, a little bit over here. Makes it much darker for sure. Plays out that purple a little bit. See, now my pastels are really they're looking lighter because of my shadows in here. Mix a little bit of my purple with my blue and see what happens. You can see the spots where I put my shadows and where I haven't, for sure. Like I said, this is my watercolor S. That's why it kind of looks watercolory too. A little bit of white. I'm going to take glasses off. Sometimes when I've got my glasses off, I can actually have a better sense of how the whole piece looks. Because my eyes are, you know, not so great, it blurs it. And it helps me see it in a more abstract way that my brain can actually start tweaking it now. So the yellow looks best with more white on top. And go over all of the yellows real quick. Because there was something about the yellow was too saturated. Now it's looking more light. Now I'll do the same thing with some of the blues because I'm seeing need to pick out little bitty highlights with the white. This is almost like non-metallic metal with my contrast and my white. I mean, it reminds me of a lot of non-metallic metal. Okay, Let's see how it looks on cam. See the colors? You see the colors, they're very soft. Yes, you can see the depth building up exactly. Whippoorwill Games, hello. Spoken word stories are your zone stuff. That's awesome. Oh, I have to find something like that. What do I listen to when I'm in the zone? I mostly listen to like movies that are not like so great. Like I got into like The 100 and, you know, just nonsensey type shows. It really feels like a drawing, doesn't it? It's good. I'm going to take some gray. What I'm missing is some mid-tone. I'm going to take some gray and see what happens, because I feel like some of this is a little too blue, but it's not. Yes, that was what it needed, I think. It needed something in between the blue. Softened it quite a bit. What's also nice about the gray is that I can lighten up the white from the gray. Heck of a lot easier. You can do some gray shadows and it's not quite so crazy. And I can do the gradient glaze as well. Oh, I'm way off cam. Sorry, guys. I think that gray tempered it. It tempered it so I can get it back to that soft pastel look. See how it looks. Yeah, nice. Got a lot. Some of the shadows are a little strong, so I might go back and fix those a little bit. You have a monthly subscription to Audible? That's awesome. Yeah, I have a free, I think I have a free month subscription to Audible for a little while. I need another gray that is more in the purpley tone. Dark Elf Skin is a real nice purpley gray. See what happens when we put some of this on. If you didn't work until 3 to 4 a.m., your weekends are just that to find late painting when it's cool and quiet best. Yeah, all of us do. Okay, I'm gonna look back here with this purpley gray. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to add a little bit of white to that. See if we can get that fluffy feather thing going with the gray. See that? Yep. This is a little too in the dark, right? A little more white. Whew, that's too much white. Somewhere in the middle. Okay. I feel like we need more light colors on the ends here. This is yellow. And I'm gonna mix some white in here as well. Do this whole end of this feather this way with a little bit of overbrushing, which is similar to dry brushing, how that did that. Go ahead and fix this wing. Vary the color, and then it do a little gray. White. Little wet blending. That feels nice. Getting there. Look at how much wider this is. Hi, Robocop. I can't say that. Robocop. It's awesome. Whomever is playing the double bass drums is good. I have a guy from, it's a music producer from England that made this music for me. And yeah, I think he's really good. Very much enjoy him. But we have this kind of music because this way I can still play my stuff on YouTube and I don't get copyright strikes. Because a lot of Twitch people use copyrighted music, and Twitch is even starting to crack down on that. Why is there no color? What happened? Oh, there we go. Sometimes these cameras, hold on, let me try to put something. So, see, now you can see my colors. Weird. All relative. Color is all relative. That's why I'm using colors in the wings, because it's gonna read as white. This reads as white, but it has a zillion colors in it. All right, now I need a different brush. I need a bigger brush, actually. In 1 second, try this one. That's really big. That's too big. There we go. That's a good brush. That's a 2 from Winsor Newton. Yep. Not pointing on me. There we go. Point. Point. And We're gonna put some whites in here. A little bit of yellows. I'm looking to see where my shadows are because there's not a lot on this edge. And then a little bit of blues. Just like that. How about that? Okay. More white. Thank you. I'm so glad you like the colors. You're the one that matters. I feel like it needs more whites though. I'm gonna try a little bit of pale skin because white is great, but it can get really, I don't know, it can get flat just like black can. So I like to try to, oh yeah, there we go. Pale skin, that's pretty. I may go back in and get that shadow back, but right now I want this to be lighter, a lighter color. Same thing. Now all of these little blue, they need to be dry before, so like this one is dry, so I can go back in here. See that? It's also dry. Take my glasses off. Paint this highlight. And then when that's dry, I can go in and pick out whites on the edges. See? But that little sliver of blue is still back there. It's just not as noticeable. You know, when I paint that white over that gray, that's so pretty. I really want all these edges of the feathers to be as high highlighted as I can. And that just feels so light. That's one thing about Kingdom Death is he's got this, he's going to be very different from most Kingdom Death figures. I think I need pink in here. Pink and the iridescent, or not the iridescent, the, oh yeah. See, there's just a smidge of orange in there, and it's next to that blue. It feels really nice and light. Bits of yellow here. And then all that dries, we'll go back in and we'll pick out those highlights. There's lots of underpainting. It's called underpainting. It gets involved with this. Now I need more white up here, see? That's what I'm talking about. Even though we started out with the yellow, the white goes on top, and then I'm also wet blending with this part. Okay. Starting to be more yellow, which actually I like. I like it. Needs to dry a little bit. All right. It is about that time. It's getting really close. We got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes or so. Let's finish doing a little bit of the highlighting, and then we're going to go ahead and hand off. Wednesday night. I'm trying to think who is streaming tonight. Let me take a peek. Hana Hanabi, she is on. Love her. Yeah, I think we're gonna host Hana Hanabi. She is a fellow pink-haired gamer gal painter who I think you're gonna like. I'll be happy that we're gonna host her too. So we've got a long ways to go with this, and you're not even seeing all the colors in that. I'm gonna take a picture of this when I get it a little closer to what it needs to look like, and then I'll share it on social media with you guys. So you'll get to see what I was going for. Sounds good? Right. Let's look for a Hana. We're gonna get her all set up. Let's do this so we can see him. A little bit of stick tack back here so he can sit on it. There we go. Hana_Hanabi. So we're gonna host. We're gonna raid her. Wait, I need to do the slash. All right. Okay, did that work? Yes. All right, guys. We're going to switch this over. And I want to thank you guys so much for coming. There were so many of you, and you guys are so awesome. We're going to watch Hana Hanabi. When you get there, we're going to do exclamation point. We're going to do Mad Love. So you want to cut and paste this and spam her with all of that Mad Love from Shoshie's Minis. You don't even need the Shoshie hearts to copy and paste it, right? All right. Bye, guys.
Shoshie can enter my world. Watch your glow.